Hey, what's good, everybody? It's Zach Bell here from Real Fan Sports. Make sure you click subscribe below to stay locked into our fan list reviews and all of our sports content. Cheers.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nonfiction. This is Real Fan Sports, and I am your first fanlist that you'll see on screen for today. Today, we're doing a prediction video for each team in NFL and their records and how they're gonna fare out throughout the season and by the end of the season. So we're gonna bring on my partner, my co-host, my partner in crime, my homeboy, my brother, the good dude named Zach. You know what I'm saying? What's cracking, sir?
What's good, Nan? I'm excited about this one, man. This was a fun one.
Yeah.
I know we're gonna get some people upset, but I think it's pretty fair. I think it was done well. If y'all were able to tune into the live stream, I don't think too many people disagreed. We had a couple,
Yeah.
but that might be different for y'all that are watching it now. So y'all let us know what you think.
I think we did pretty good with this one. We were really fair, just like with the quarterbacks one. If you watch that one, I think you'll feel like we were not overly judgmental.
Don't get me wrong, we got some wild predictions in there too, so it's a lot of fun. Y'all let us know. Y'all let us know what y'all think on how we fared with this. Man, I enjoyed doing this. I hope y'all enjoy this one. Now we want to send them on over.
Yeah, let's get right to it. Well, the first team is going to be the Dallas Cowboys. So Dallas Cowboys last season, they went 12-5. So they also lost a receiver, and they only really have CeeDee Lamb, and everybody else is kind of like backing up the secondary receivers. So I don't know if they're going to get 12 wins this season, to be honest. It also depends on what Dak shows up for the season. That's the question.
The thing with the Cowboys is that their division is so weak with the Commanders and with the Giants. I mean, you would think that would be 4 wins just right there. With the Eagles, that great rivalry, I think that splits. So I mean, you're looking at 5 right there, and then the rest of their schedule just depends on what Dak shows up. I think Parsons and Diggs had good seasons last year. I think Diggs' covering ability is a little questionable, and I wonder if that'll get exposed this year or he'll still get those picks. I don't know if they get 12 this year.
So do you think they'll break 9? I don't think they're getting 12, but I'm thinking it's possible they may get 9 or 10 just because of that division. That division is not a strong division at all.
Dallas Cowboys don't get 10 wins. Jerry Jones might have a heart attack. So for the sake of Jerry Jones's health, let's at least say they're going to get 10 wins.
Okay. So next up, we have the New York City Giants.
Wait. Did you say New York City or did you say New York Shitty Giants?
City. I said city. City.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
say shitty. I said city.
Okay.
But I mean, with that record from last season was 4-13, you might as well throw that in there. I could put them in the same range or even lower. Because I don't see them getting that much better.
It all boils down to Saquon Barkley. We just saw the big video of him trucking over a dude at practice. But again, that's at practice against New York Giants defensive players. So that's hard to tell. Saquon healthy throughout the whole year, they're a 4-6 win team. Without him healthy, I think it's 1-3. So I think it's what and what. Where you want to put them?
I'm gonna say with the run game, I'll give them 4-6. All right, up next we have the Philadelphia Eagles. We just talked about them having possibly a good season. Last season they went 9-8. So it's the ceiling is there, and it's nothing but up for them. Hopefully, depending on how they gel. What are your thoughts?
Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, the most pressured quarterback to perform this year. He's in Philadelphia, the most vicious fan base. He's got to perform high. Can he deal with the pressure? Jalen Hurts been dealing with pressure his whole entire life, switching from team to team and doing this. I think he will stand up to the pressure. I think he's going to have a great year. They got a new addition at wide receiver with A.J. Brown. I think they're going to be very good. I love Slater on the defense. I think he's a ball hawk. I think they finish up better than the Cowboys. Like I said, got them right there with the 10 plus wins.
Now up next we have the Washington Commanders, one of the worst names in NFL history. On that name, I wanted to put them in the 0-win columns because I don't like the name. But previous season they went 7-10. Surprisingly, they actually had a fairly decent season. Didn't really do much after that. But what are your thoughts, and what do you think the Commanders are going to end up at the end of this upcoming season?
Do they play the Jags or the Lions? Do we know?
So regular season, their first game of the season is Jacksonville.
Since they play the Jags and Carson Wentz, Carson Wentz isn't going to have a 0-win season. I think Carson Wentz has flashes of where he's a really good quarterback, but I don't think he's above the 1 to 4 type of situation. Do you want to say they're going to have 4 wins?
I'm okay with splitting their previous season, like their record of 7, I'll give them 4 just to be nice. Up next, NFC North, Chicago Bears. Their record last season was 6-11. I know we talked about it in the quarterback conversation that there's just not much for them to work with as far as the team as a whole. I don't know if they get 6 wins. I don't know if they match last season's record.
In a division with Minnesota and Green Bay, it's going to be hard. Even with Aaron Rodgers having limited wide receiver options and stuff like that, they don't win those games. I don't think they win those games against Minnesota. I think they do beat out the Detroit Lions.
I think they do beat them out too.
I think Justin Fields may have a good year, but it's just such a big question mark with everything. I mean, I'd like to say they're going to get 4 wins. I don't think I want to put them as our first team that's only going to get 1 to 3, but I think they're on that borderline.
That's the next team.
That's the next team.
So we're going to go here and put them in the 4 to 6 wins. Up next, we got the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions they won 3 games last season. Yeah, that's really about it for that team. Like there's no bright spots to me.
Detroit, the only bright spot I have for Detroit is not that quarterback. I do like Armona, their wide receiver. Number one thing I love about Detroit Lions is their coach. I love Dan. They're a 1 to 3 win team. They're a 1 to 3 win team.
Wholeheartedly agree with you. And up next is the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers went 13-4, lost to the Niners in the playoffs. I know there's a few pieces missing from this team. Do we think they're still going to get the 13 wins minus Devontae Adams? I honestly don't even, who are the receivers that he has now?
I know Lazard. They have another guy that's been doing really well in training camp, and I'm forgetting his name. So Packers fans down there, let us know who the wide receiver that I'm thinking of is. I'm waiting to see Aaron Rodgers decline, and I think that this is the year, if any year, it's going to happen. But their defense is still very strong, and it is a top 5, top 3 defense in the league that is going to help them. Aaron Jones looked really good last year in the running game. I don't think they get 13 wins. If they get below 10 in this division, especially since they got the Lions and the Bears, I don't think they get below 10. Where would you like to put them?
I wouldn't mind putting them in the 7-9 category to put them at 9, because I don't know. I know you asked about the question is this is this season where he starts to decline. I want to say last season we might have seen some of that, because he had some good receivers. But just the gameplay in the playoffs is like, did you really want to be there or did you not want to be there? I'm going to say 9 wins. The Minnesota Vikings, a team that Zach hates hearing their name. They went 8-9 last season. Where do we see them? Where do we see this team coming up?
Justin Jefferson is the real deal at wide receiver. And people forget about Adam Thielen because Justin Jefferson has popped off so much. And they leave this man open all the time because they're just worried about the young buck Jay Jettas. And Kirk Cousins, we know you're not a big fan, but I think he is a fairly consistent quarterback that does well. But their defense is garbage. One of these teams has got to get over 10 wins, being them or Green Bay. And this might be the year that I think Minnesota jumps in front of them, to be honest.
Atlanta Falcons. I know when we say this name, NFC South, Zach it kind of makes his blood boil. I don't know if you guys sometimes see on his face.
Not this time.
His face changes.
Not with this team. Not with this team. Not with this team.
Zach will end friendships if you're a Falcons fans. I've seen him leave games on Twitch because the co-player was a Falcons fan. It's just he doesn't like him. So where would you like this team? Where are you going to place this team this season?
They'll win 1 game against the Panthers.
So there's just one period.
They might get more than 1. Their quarterback situation is just too iffy.
Yeah.
They brought in Drake London, who their offense just isn't good enough. Their running game isn't good enough. Their running back's a flex player. It's like if we started Taysom Hill and the Saints as our number 1 running back, that's how they do with Cardell Patterson. They're a 1 and 3 win team.
I mean, they did get 7 wins last season, so I don't know what that means, but they did get 7 wins last season.
I don't care. I'll let you deal with it, but that's my opinion. I think they're 1 to 3.
Find out. We're gonna let them find out, see who's gonna be first in that 1 and 3 division. Carolina Panthers last season went 5-12. This has been another team who have had a lot of injuries. So part of the decline is because of injuries. Now we know those players are coming back this season. Where do they go? That's a great question. What do you think?
Carolina Panthers going through quarterback issues. I love DJ Moore, even though he had butterfingers. I think that dude ate movie theater butter popcorn before every single game, the way he was dropping it after midseason. But Christian McCaffrey healthy is a scary thing. Their defense, a lot of people forget that it was the top-rated defense for a majority of the year last year. That defense is going to be just as good as Jace Horn is coming into his second year of his NFL career. I think that defense is still going to be very well, and I think they're going to be a sneaky team. And as a Saints fan, I can't say that they're going to get 7 to 9 wins. If I want to give a honest view, I have them like high 6 wins, but I could see them pulling off 7. They started off last year 4-0.
I think if McCaffrey stays healthy, they may hit 7 to 9 wins. But if he gets injured again, which he's gotten pretty much injured every season, the last 2-3 seasons. So yes. I'm going to put him in. I would say I'll put him in 4 to 6. Up next, we have the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints last season went 9-8. They have a Jameis Winston who is back and fully healthy. So, what are your thoughts, Zach? Let them know. Be honest.
Yeah. So the way we're going to do this is I'm a New Orleans Saints fan. Nonfiction over here is a Raiders fan, so he's going to give the ultimate determining factor of where he wants to put them. But I will tell y'all and update y'all on what the New Orleans Saints is all about. The New Orleans Saints just had the craziest offseason in New Orleans Saints history since the signing of Drew Brees and the new coach being Sean Payton. We have developed a wide receiver core that is not to be reckoned with. Michael Thomas being healthy, bringing in veteran Jarvis Landry, drafting Chris Olave, and our defense is going to be a top 5, if not top 3, in some experts, and I'm not just saying Saints fans, have said that they could arguably be one of the best defenses that we'll ever see. Being optimistic, I would put us in that 14 to 15 win category. I think honestly, I think it's really hard to say that we're going to get less than 10 wins. Last year, we had 9 wins. We went through 3 quarterbacks. We had times where we had 8 coaches out. We had games where we lost because we didn't have a kicker. There was a lot of things that happened last year, and we still pulled off 9 wins. Put $1,000 on it right now. If y'all take bets, hit me up on Cash App because I'm down to get dirty with you.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from. And if you go back to our previous video about the quarterbacks situation, which you can go back here on the channel, and my personal thoughts on Jameis, and pretty much I think everything kind of hinges on him. The defense is going to be much better. Top in NFL history, I don't know about that. That's saying a lot. And we've had some great defenses in the NFL, so that's you're reaching for some big stars. 14 and 16, I don't think so. I think more so between 10 to 12 range is where they're going to end up at, which is still going to be a good positive year for everything. So I'm looking to put them between 10 and 13 wins. Yeah, you got to realize all the defenses that's ever happened in this league to say that's big. But I say 10 and 13. I put them at the top of the ranks.
Nah, I got a star for you, bro. I reached for him. Let him hear it.
You know. That's cute, but you're good.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep, that's up next. Tampa. So we know Tampa had a pretty good season. Went 13-4. Just they had a pretty good season. 13-4. We know Brady is the captain of that ship. Do they repeat 13 to get 13 wins, or will they be below? That's the question.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Everybody wants to talk about the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to go back to my team and say how we have a new coach now, and that's going to change things. What does Tampa Bay have? They have a new coach. They have a quarterback that last minute decided he didn't want to retire. Retired, came out. I think it's just a trend. He's trying to be like Brett Favre. He's trying to be like Rob Gronkowski, his best friend. Wirfs had a minor injury at training camp. It looks like he's going to be fine, but they've lost other elements to their offensive line. They're going to be worse than the Saints this year, and that's not just me being a fan. I'm just saying that they are going to be worse this year than what the Saints are. They are going to get 10 wins. They're not going to beat the Saints.
Yeah, the number I was thinking 10. I was thinking 10 wins total. They're going to have a good season. Still Brady's going to have some good numbers. But like you said, they lost some very vital parts. So, and I do think the coaching situation for them was a plus. I think 10 is a good place to put them. And I'll even give you that and put them behind the Saints. I'll give you that. Arizona Cardinals. And Arizona Cardinals last season went 11-6. We know their star QB just signed a massive contract. They've had some additional pieces at wide receiver. But what are your thoughts with this team going in this season?
Arizona Cardinals, I think Kyler Murray is going to come out and prove a point because I think there was so much hate towards him that I think Kyler Murray is going to actually perform well.
So do you think he's going to scamper higher than 11 wins?
No, I think the Rams win this division again. The Rams win this division again. Mm-hmm. The Cardinals are floating between 9 and 10 again for me. I think I want to put them at the 9-win category. Lost Christian Kirk to the Jaguars. They still have Hopkins, but Hopkins is going to be dealing with a suspension. I think that's going to hurt him.
I agree with you. I already put him at the 9. Put him right behind Green Bay. Up next, we have the Los Angeles Rams, Super Bowl winners, 12-5 last season. Do we see them potentially repeating? Is that the question? Do we see them having a 12-5 win season? Or will they be pedestrian after possibly losing some interesting parts in offseason?
I mean, the biggest part that they lost was Von Miller switching over to the Bills. Mm-hmm. But on offense, they lost OBJ, they lost Robert Woods, but they gained Allen Robinson from the Chicago Bears. I don't see another Super Bowl year for them. Honestly, I want to put them as my first 14-win team.
I was seeing something closer than what they had last season, either 12 or 13 wins or possibly even 11, because I know the target on their back is humongous, and every team is going to step it up, even the worst teams that they're going to play. And that's when you have those games, those random games where the number one team from the previous year loses to the Detroit Lions. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's right. They have that target. So I was thinking either having a very similar record as in 12 wins or possibly even 11 or 13. That's what I was thinking. But we'll go with 14. Let them be the first 14.
San Francisco 49ers. And I think this is another big reason why I have LA Rams winning 14 games, because the 49ers have Debo. They have Kittle. They have a good defense when they want to be, but they're now operating under the quarterback Trey Lance, and I think they're going to have some early troubles.
There's going to be a lot of hiccups in those first 4 or 5 games of the season.
I see him as a 7-9 win team.
Yeah, I mean, I can go with that, because I think struggles will be there, and it could take them a while to become cohesive and play together. So I'll go with 7-9 as well. So up next, we have the Seattle Seahawks. Went 7-10 last season. The bottom of the NFC West currently. They lost the quarterback. So what do you think? Where is this going? Because we had Geno as the quarterback right now.
At this point, at the middle of the season, I don't know if either one of them could be the quarterback, and they could just go with someone completely different. If we have to give one team that's going to get 0 wins,
you think so?
Seattle is the team that I could see not winning one.
I'd rather put them than 1-3 and still put them at the bottom of tier 1-3. So up next, we have the Buffalo Bills. 11-6 last season. A lot of potential with this team. Fairly good on offense, fairly good on defense. But what are your thoughts, brother? Where do you see this going? Where does this Buffalo train end?
Have you ever seen Lion King?
Yes. All of them.
I don't think they were Buffalo. They were something else, but I'm gonna call them Buffalo. You see how they run in herds. Yeah. That Buffalo fan base is crazy, and they finally have something to be excited about. I wanted them to win. I wanted them to win a Super Bowl so bad last year, man. I think Buffalo has a great chance this year, just as they did last year. They brought in Dalvin Cook's brother. Gabriel has came out as a wide receiver and has played really well. We all know about Diggs and Stephon Diggs and what he can do. I think they're at least a 14-16 win team.
I can put them up there just because I think they're going to have a better season than last season. So we'll agree on that one and put them up there. So up next, we have the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins went 9-8 last season. Have some new weapons, of course, on the offensive side of the ball.
Cheetah.
But they also have a quarterback that doesn't have really good aim. So where are they going?
They have a whole new coaching staff. They have a lot of disagreements in the upper office and all things that are going on there. I think they'll still be good. Mm-hmm. But I think I have them right around the same spot. I don't think they break 10 wins, man. I think they stay around that 7-9 range.
I mean, I can agree with you. 7-9. I don't think they break 9. I don't think they match their previous season. I think Tyreek Hill will have a great season, like yard wise, but he probably won't have that many touchdowns. Yeah, I'm gonna go 7-9. Biggest reason why Miami will never be able to do that is because they have an ownership that doesn't really care about that team. It's a tax write-off. I said it. Your owners think he's a tax writer.
Y'all come at Nonfiction.
I'm on every social media platform at Nonfiction. Holla at your boy.
New England Patriots, the Patriots, man.
The Patriots went 10-7 last season.
Mac Jones coming in his second year. Everyone's saying that Mac Jones is in the best shape of his life, and people are hyping him up, acting like he's going to be amazing this year. I don't see it, but under a Bill Belichick system, Belichick doesn't lose, man. Do I think they get 10 wins again on a second year with Mac Jones?
They may match last season's record. They may match it. Just because, like you said, as long as you have that coaching staff, they know how to work with players and make those players play outside of their normal selves. So I would say I would give them 10 wins. I give them 10 wins.
The Jets are an interesting team. I don't know if Zach Wilson's the answer. I think the Jets are going to have something special, but not this year. I think they got about 2 to 3 more years. I still think they're a 4-6 win team.
I disagree wholeheartedly. I think they're going 1-3. 1-3 wins.
Put it at 1-3 then.
I just don't see it, and I'll put them above the Seahawks. I think that's hilarious. Baltimore Ravens last season they went 8-9. The end of the season off really poorly. I think it was 6 straight losses, but still have a pretty good quarterback like we talked about earlier. What are your thoughts? I mean, what's the issue with them? Why can't they get over that hump?
Last year they dealt with Lamar being injured. J.K. Dobbins tore his ACL during preseason. Lamar has a point to prove because even though a lot of mainstream media is saying that he's still one of the top quarterbacks in the league, a lot of people don't believe that, and I know he sees it. In their division, I think they're better than the Browns, and they're definitely better than the Steelers. I think they're up there with the Bengals. I don't see them being a 14 to 16 win team.
No. If they correct some of the issues they had towards the latter part of the season, we could see them hitting that 10-11 win area. Just because I think they're going to correct the issues they had from last season. I say 10 wins. The Cincinnati Bengals, 10-7. One of Zach's favorite teams.
I wouldn't go that far. They worked on their offensive line again. They built that up again. Their season was very mediocre. Like, it was very average, enough to make the playoffs, and then were able to shine in the actual playoffs itself. And I see that being a repeating thing. I don't think they got worse. I think they got better.
Do you think they'll be repeating the success they had last season?
To the Super Bowl? No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But 14 wins? I don't know if I'd
put them there. It's hard to get 14 wins. It's hard to predict that. It's hard.
Don't say that their road to the Super Bowl last season was a fluke. They shouldn't have been there in the first place because the rules of the game that happened in that one game did not get called correctly. And everyone even said it. They shouldn't have been there. So that's why I'm like 10-13. I put them in there. The Cleveland Browns, who went 8-9. We know that there's going to be a lot of turmoil at the beginning of the season because we have no idea after this next situation with Deshaun Watson comes down how that's going to turn out. We know for sure right now it's stated he's going to miss 6, but they're going back and they're appealing it, so that can be an indefinite where he missed the entire season. That's what they're going for. So. I don't know. What do you think, man? What do you think is going to happen with this team?
Last year alone, their record was 8-9. Those wins were not from the quarterback position. Those wins came from the running game and came from their defense. The thing that I think is going to hurt the Browns the most is now that Kareem Hunt wants out. And if Kareem goes out and decides to switch teams and can get that done, if he does not get the extension or the contract that he wants, that's going to hurt them more than the quarterback situation is already. I think 7-9 wins is kind of where I want to put them.
Okay, I can go with that. Up next is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They went 9-7 last year, but we know this year's situation is totally different with Mitchell Trubisky and the Pickett dude fresh out of college. I don't know where, like 9-7. Yeah, I don't. They could be a bargain basement type team this year.
Man, I'm gonna say this about Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin, the head coach, is gonna go down as one of the best coaches to ever do the game. That dude has never had a losing season. He's never had a under 500 season in his career as head coach. He has one of the longest stints as a head coach for one singular team and has done amazing things with them. They're in a complete rebuild situation, something that we haven't seen in years, something that I don't even remember experiencing in my lifetime of watching football. and we are seeing it now. Their number one wide receiver is good, but we don't know who's throwing the ball. Their number one running back in Najee Marshall is a dog. He's a beast. But is it enough for them to get above 6 wins? No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But above 4 wins?
I think they can get above 4. They might be able to get
4?
above. They might be able to get 4. I don't know. But I could see this being Mike Tomlin's worst season ever as a head coach. I could see that. I'm thinking of just the team as a whole. I'm not thinking about the quarterback position when I say above 4. But if I think about that quarterback position and how unstable it is, I'd probably have to go 1-3. Next, we have the Houston Texans. Houston Texans, amongst all the craziness and disarray from last season, they went 4-13. I feel like this is probably going to be a repeat of last season, maybe even worse. What say you, my good man?
I'm right there with you. I think it's the same thing. They're in a weak division. That's the only thing that helps them. I still don't see them getting 4 wins. If I got to pick, Texans or Jaguars are getting 1 to 3 wins. And if I pick between the two, it's Texans.
I wouldn't be surprised if they won less than that, but we'll say 1 to 3 right now. Up next is the Colts. The Colts last season won 9 games. They have a great rushing attack. What do you think? Can they achieve higher than 9 in that division?
We already said it. Texans, Jaguars, bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
And then you got the Tennessee Titans, decent defense, good run game. They control time, and they're very similar to the Colts in that essence. I see them splitting games in their division. I think Matt Ryan's a little bit better than Carson Wentz. I think he's going to be better. It's debate between the Titans and Colts. Shout out Titan Rossi. If y'all are Titans fans, go check out Titan Rossi and the crew.
Yeah, great videos, great content.
Rossi, don't hurt me. I have the Colts above the Titans, but I don't think any team does super well. I think both these teams sit between that, at the least 9 wins, but at the most like 11.
I'd probably put them match their season last season, 9 wins. I'm just not sure exactly what they're going to do. I know they're going to lose 1 to the Jaguars. It just keeps happening to them every year, and that's why they keep not making the playoffs. So I'm going to put them at 9 wins. I'll put them at 9 wins.
And since we're talking about Titans, let's jump forward. We'll go into the Titans and not talk about Jacksonville Jaguars. We can talk about Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, organization, not too great.
3-14.
They got Etienne, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Finally come back off an injury. 1 3 wins.
Tennessee Titans went 12-5 last season. Had a pretty good run. Of course, like I said, their biggest issue for me is the quarterback position.
Well, and now we're seeing into a year of Tennessee Titans where it's not just quarterback position, but now they don't have A.J. Brown, and they brought in a drafted wide receiver who has played well in training camp. Nothing sustainable on that offense that makes me feel really confident about their season. I other than the run game,
I say 10.
You say 10? I think 10. I think 10's fair. And they also brought in Robert Woods. That's another thing I forgot to mention.
Up next, we finally get to the AFC West, the toughest division in all of football. First is Las Vegas Raiders. It's all on you, brother. Their record was 10-7 last season, and that's with losing the head coach. That's with losing their top receiver and their top number 1 recruited DB.
And then gaining a new head coach, gaining the best wide receiver last year.
True.
Putting their number 1 wide receiver, quote unquote, into a number 2 spot where he's going to excel well. I think every team in this division is going to make the playoffs. And because the division's so tough, they sit at that 10 win spot.
Well, your typical Raiders fans are saying, "Oh, they're winning 14 games." No, I, as a Raiders fan, I said I think they're going to win 11 games. That was my actual thought. Next, the Denver Broncos, new QB. Their record last season was 7-10. They brought on a Super Bowl winning quarterback. What do you think? I know they lost a few parts, but what do you think?
The Denver Broncos, man, their defense is what astounded me most last year. Mm-hmm. We never saw the second year last year, third year this year being Jerry Jeudy and how he's going to be in the NFL. We also saw Sutton be in a decline last year because of their quarterback situation, and we saw their defense deteriorate because their offense couldn't stay on the field. I like Russ. I know you have different opinions from what I do on Russ. I think I have them being more around a 9-win team. I can see them getting 10, but I got them in that 7 to 9 range.
I kind of agree with you. I mean, I don't think they're going to blow the brakes off of that division. I think they will get between 7 and 9 wins. Okay. Kansas City Chiefs, also part of the AFC West, at 12-5. They lost their top receiver. They did bring on Juju Schuster, who is great at Fortnite. We do know that. I'm not sure and TikTok. He's great at TikTok and Fortnite. But we haven't really seen him play in quite a while. What are your thoughts on this team, man? Do you see them matching the 12 wins, or do you see them possibly falling down a game or two?
I don't see him matching the 12 wins. Man, I'll say it. I'm gonna get a lot of hate from Chiefs Nation in saying that, like, I hate saying this because it's more me being like the heel and being the bad guy in the situation where I see them potentially having the worst record in this division this year. Not because of the lack of talent that they have on team, but it's the way that Andy Reid runs his offense. Andy Reid is a risk taker. He's always been. It's the same thing when he was with Philadelphia. Having plays designed that are risky and just kind of letting the play develop. It's like almost like they don't have set plays. It's just kind of like they let it play out, but they've always had that scapegoat being Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
And they don't have that this year. And Juju Schuster isn't going to fill in those shoes. I feel like they don't use every aspect of their offense because they rely on Andy Reid's style of just hucking and chucking. And no one has to be lower. And I think it's between Chiefs and Broncos on who's lower.
I honestly think them losing Hill is going to play a bigger part in their final season results than anything. Juju can go and get him, but he's not going 40, 50 yards and outrunning 2 defenders. He's not doing that. He's going to get double teamed. They're going to double team him. Kelsey can be a lot of these teams in the league single-handedly. He's done it before.
But it's hard having a team as your number one option being. It's hard.
They're going to see how we felt for several seasons having a tight end as a number one receiver. And they possibly could, have a really good season, but I think right now I'm saying 9 wins. Lastly, we have the Los Angeles Chargers. I was about to say San Diego. They went 9-8. Have a really good quarterback. The defense has been beefed up some. They have good receivers. The ceiling is crazy for them. This is one of those teams where could possibly be a 13 win if depending on how the season works out for them. But I don't know.
I'll say this about the Chargers: a healthy Eckler, a healthy Keenan Allen, a healthy Justin Herbert, a improved defense. I think they have the most complete team behind the Buffalo Bills, and I have them at 14 to 15 wins.
I can see them hitting 13, possibly 14 wins. I can see that just because I know how much work they put in that team in the off seasons. If you want to say 14, we'll put them 14. I think 13, but
So that's going to go ahead and wrap up our predictions.
I said 13, you say you're down for it, so I'll put them there.
That's fine. Put them there. That's going to wrap up our predictions as far as a tier list.
Please let us know, what are your thoughts? How did we do? If you agree with us or disagree with us. If you think your team's going 17-0, we really want you guys to tell us. Tell us if you really feel that way, because I want to know who really feels that way, who really feels their team is going 17-0. And I want to see them and want to know what kind of medication that their doctor has them on, because I want to have that too, so I can be just as delusional as they are. Thank you for being here. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, be true to the channel, and don't also forget, if you are currently here, don't forget to like. We appreciate you guys so much. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers. That was our quick goal. We was trying to see if we can get that goal before the season starts.
720 growth within the last month, and if that says anything, it just means we're putting out good quality content.
So just like the man said, we're growing because we put out good quality content. And if that's what you want, then this is the place you need to be. Join a fan list, become a fan list just like us, and we'll see you on the next one. Hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, noon, wherever you are in the world today. My name is Nonfixion. This is my co-host, Zach, and this is Real Fan Sports, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace, love. We're out, y'all.
Cheers.
Peace out.